Good evening. Welcome to Off Constantly. Actually, I take that back. Welcome to the North Metro TV Police Blotter, Kung Fu Hour, and Motorcycle Safety Seminar. I'm your host, Bamba. With me, as always, Samurai, and
Judge Motorcycle,
also known as Backwater. We're just joking with you. It's Off Constantly's third annual Halloween episode. Okay, now we can sit down. With an opening like that, oh, there's all kinds of extra stuff on me now. Prop gun.
Oh, got your holster.
Is that a gun on your side?
Let me take that out of there for you,
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Ooh, still kind of tight there.
Put him out.
You should never. You don't need
you should
a gun. You
never
should
point
be teaching
a
people
fake
how to
gun at a fake
disarm
cop,
somebody with
ever.
a gun.
That would hurt.
Well, it's rubber, so.
It is?
Yeah, it's a prop gun.
It's not heavy rubber.
Which is the name I used to dance under. Oh, now I bent it and all of it's coming off. Welcome to Off Constantly. Happy Halloween.
Yes.
It's my favorite time of the year.
Me too.
You should have been a vampire cop.
I should have.
You should have.
I could be like in, what's that show?
Count Dracula.
No, the show.
Walking Dead?
What?
Walking Dead?
No.
Twilight 2.
Oh, the vampire show.
Diaries?
Breaking Dawn.
That just died. That just ended.
Vampire Diaries.
Oh, HBO.
Vampire Blog.
Blood.
True Blood.
I was going to be so tonight.
I could have been the sheriff in the show. Because there's one, right?
Is there a motorcycle judge in the show? Or, sorry, Judge Motorcycle.
Can you hear him in there? Okay, because it sounds funny out here.
Back when I was assistant district attorney motorcycle.
It actually looks like your mic is part of like a booger thing.
This is your judge.
Like a booger pic-
judge. Like I thought you just graduated high school.
This is fine. Then I'm graduate, motorcycle school graduate.
Motorcycle.
I'd rather be Judge Motorcycle.
Okay, Judge Motorcycle. Tell us about your week.
And I'm hoping to get appointed to the Minnesota State Supreme Court, and I will be Supreme Court Justice Motorcycle.
You should totally karate chop me with the helmet on. I didn't hear anything you said because Sam was going,
Overruled.
objection.
You're graduated.
So we're caught up, right?
Yeah.
I'll allow it.
Ketchup and mustard.
So there's a mama tomato, a daddy tomato, and a baby tomato. And they're all crossing the street.
I like where this is going. Good family values jokes, family values show.
Daddy tomato gets crossed
I
the
think
street.
marriage should be between one tomato and another tomato. I'm going to go out on a limb and say
Mama
that. That's my ruling right now.
Mama
What are
tomato,
we talking about?
Mama tomato gets across the street. Baby tomato starts to go across the street, and somebody steps on him.
And then what happens?
Daddy tomato looks back and says, "Catch up." Pulp Fiction, come on.
It's a good one.
Is that really from?
It is from Pulp Fiction.
Uma Thurman says it.
Oh, really? I
She
thought it was
says it a
John
lot better.
Travolta.
Well, she tells it to John Travolta. Anyway, so welcome to our Halloween episode. Do you have the subject this evening? What are they, Sam?
Ooh.
Ghost stories.
Very spooky things
Very spooky.
will be happening here tonight.
So,
We shall begin with ghost stories.
I think for that, we need to have a flashlight up here. I'm just saying. There was one in the booth earlier. Okay.
Halloween event.
Oh, that's what you were doing. And what's the next one?
Subject 2 is Halloween events. And then we will move into the soil minutes. And we will follow with tips for those new to the Minnesota winter.
Oh, that is scary. Isn't
You'll
it?
be getting the chills
You know what else
and
we
the
forgot to do
spooks.
before we get started tonight? I just like to say something. Our crew here is amazing. First of all, they put up with this crap. Secondly, it is none other than Kevin Heimer's 41st birthday today. And how does he spend it? With us.
I hope you had a fun weekend.
I hope, we should pitch in and buy him a gift certificate.
Why is
somewhere.
this a show about these dumb subjects? This should be a complete episode devoted to
Kevin?
Kevin. Yes.
Kevin Heimer?
Kevin's story.
Let's have an
Kevin
all
Heimer.
Kevin episode.
A retrospective.
A Kevin Heimer, the life of a brave
of a Heimer.
young man. We could talk about the time there were enemies as far as the eye could see, and he took care of all of them by giving them fish and bread.
Yes. And doing awesome Papa Wheelies on his motorcycle. Motorcycle judge.
Only after he spoke to the judge, though.
Judge motorcycles. Right.
And then he went to Japan to learn the ancient art of karate, which is represented by none other than samurai.
You almost
who
just-
almost took my arm off right
Yeah.
there. I don't know. I hope we got that on camera because I plan on suing later.
We'll see.
And
we talked
after
to-
he became a ninja karate master.
Not to totally sideline all this Kevin talk, because I'm all for it.
Yes.
But you said Japan, and it made me think of China.
Okay.
Because they're in that same general vicinity.
They are.
And then it made me think of Al,
Yeah,
because
where's Al?
he's in
Al.
that same vicinity.
Oh, shout out to Al. Al, we miss you. Get home safely. Don't catch that swine flu over there.
You know what Judge Motorcycle says? If you want to jump on the back of my hog, you can anytime, Al. Just let me know.
You heard it here first. So, speaking of ghost stories, and Al, do you have any good ghost stories?
Are
to
you
tell?
telling me Al was a ghost this whole
I
time?
used to know a few, but I don't really recall them
None?
enough to make it good.
Okay, Jay.
Well, one day, Patrick Swayze was doing something, and he was killed by corrupt businessmen
Who ripped his throat out?
who ripped his throat out, and then he all of a sudden became a dancer at a prestigious summer resort, and then he made pottery with
I thought we were
Demi
talking
Moore.
about Patrick Swayze, not Kevin Heimer.
Oh.
Because you just literally gave Kevin Heimer's pre-motorcycle judge life. So,
You got to know a ghost story.
I know a few actually.
Tell us one.
And these are
I love
actually
spooky
true.
stories.
So in the
Yes.
spirit of Halloween, I'm about to share with you a story that I was saving for a book that I was going to write or a scene from a
Well-
movie, but I'll just go ahead and tell it now and ruin it for everyone and expand on it later.
Or
So what?
start something.
Start something.
This is your big break to tell
This
the
is
story.
it right here. Okay, here we go.
Make it worth it.
Are you buckled up at home? Do you have the lights turned on? The candles lit? Because you're about to get the stuff scared out of you. Back in the day when my mother and father had just gotten married, they lived in a little trailer in Bemidji. And behind this trailer, Kevin, I'm sure you've heard the story many a Friday nights with beers, they had well, they didn't know it, but they moved into this trailer, right? Well, right off the bat, strange things started happening.
Like what?
Well, for instance, my dad was in bed one night, and he woke up and saw the TV in the living room on.
Poltergeist.
So he got up to go into the living room, and there was a man sitting on the couch smoking a cigarette, watching his television. And the man had a blue denim vest on with no shirt, and he had tattoos all over his arm. So Dad went back into the room, grabbed a baseball bat, came back into the room with the baseball bat. The TV was off, dude was gone. Okay? So, first kind of freaky thing.
Well, that's really rude of that guy
I know,
to
you didn't
not
say
at
goodbye.
least say,
Oh.
hello,
So
thank
then-
you for the use of your television set. I'm watching the midnight movie on channel 20. I
Let's
don't
watch
know
an
what's
LA
in-
Inc.
I was watching LA Inc.
Well, this would have been in the early 70s.
I
so-
was watching reruns of I Love Lucy.
That seems legit.
So that's right there scary enough.
Yeah.
But
Lucy
several
was-
other events happened like
Like
this.
what?
The last event that I will go
Tell
over.
one
Well,
more.
I got to save something for the book, right?
Tell
So
one
I will
more.
tell one more, okay? One night, my mom was laying in bed, and she felt something sit on the bed next to her. And it was a female who kept saying, "You need to help him. You need to help bring him home. You need to help him." And she said, "I don't know what you're talking, who do I need to help? And this person just kept saying, you need to help him, he's really in trouble. His family needs to say goodbye to him, but you need to help him. So it freaked her out because it seemed very real, very,
Well,
but
yeah.
obviously it was a ghost, But make a long story short, these continue night after night after night until finally this person actually laid this person on top of my mom at night, and she felt this limp, cold, dead body, and he was soaking wet. And she felt all the rain, all the water, everything on him. And woke up, didn't sleep at all. So in the springtime, right outside their
Did
back
not
door,
work like I wanted it to.
right, next time be a little quicker.
Yeah, I know.
Right outside their back
was waiting for
door,
this
like their
story.
back 40, they had a pond. So my mom started putting two and two together. They drug the pond, and they pulled out a guy in a denim vest with tattoos up and down his arm. And he had, during Thanksgiving, he had walked across the pond from the local bar and had drowned. True story.
Wow.
So
So did the family get their piece?
Yes,
How happy
they
is it
found
that
out.
she brought that piece to the family?
Well, happy, but everything else made me poop my pants. So.
Well, yeah, it was a scary story, but it's good when you can release the ghost.
Right. Bring it all back. So
do you think the guy, when he was watching TV, used their toilet too?
if he did, there'd be ghost poop, which would be like peanuts.
You know what?
Or
The peanuts in the packing material.
That is my new excuse for every time I leave the toilet seat up, is that there must be a ghost.
Bamba's mom's ghost. is
Bamba's
in there.
mom's ghost is using the
what
toilet.
other stories? Let's just tell all Halloween stories, spooky stories.
Well, there's another story that she told when I was young, and they were on their way to my grandfather's house in Hayward, Minnesota.
There's a
Big
Hayward,
town.
Minnesota.
Give it up for Hayward. What?
Yeah, there's you go, and it's gone. So it's a tiny little town. My granddad lived there, and I was pretty young, like still in a crib, car seat, like.
Was it a haunted crib?
So it would have been January. I was born in July, so I was 7 months old, and I was just fussing the whole ride, because in those days they were driving like a '69 Plymouth Fury. So big boat, really loud, not a lot of amenities, but had heat. And
That's
back
good.
then, I don't know if you remember the car seats. You probably don't, because you were 20 years not born yet, and you were 10 years not born yet. But the car seats back in those days were just like metal. And you sat, and not the good metal, but they were metal. And I was crying and putting up a fuss, and there was a guy hitchhiking, so my mom and dad stopped and picked this guy up. And as soon as he got in the car, I stopped crying, supposedly. And she said that he looked just like Jesus, had the long flowing locks of hair, and said he was very gentle, very calm, and I just shut up as soon as he sat next to me and started talking. And asked where he was going and everything, and they gave him a ride for quite a while, and then they stopped and dropped him off, because he was heading to a different town other than Hayward.
Yeah.
So they stopped at an overpass and dropped him off underneath the overpass. And he said, "I'm just up the road here, don't worry about it, I'll be fine." So they dropped him off and took off. And then my dad said he freaked out because, what am I doing leaving someone in this weather? Because it was like a blinding blizzard. And they turned the car around to go back and get him.
No footprints.
There were footprints to the underpass and none after that. So,
Well, if you went under the underpass, then there won't be any footprints.
right, but you would have to go somewhere. Otherwise, he'd still be under the underpass.
So you're saying this guy can fly?
He was Jesus.
Wow.
So, there's the only two stories I can think of off the top of my head.
Those are good.
Doesn't Jesus know that hitchhiking is illegal?
Apparently not. Apparently the guy thought he was Jesus.
Shame on you, Jesus.
See, now had the motorcycle judge been around at that time,
I would have driven up. "Vroom! Jesus, you're guilty of not being cool in front of the law. Vroom, hop on my hog."
I don't know what just happened there.
I'm too spooked to be That was good. Good spooky stories.
The spookiest thing about it is they were true. Woo!
One thing that Ron Gardenhire actually brought in from Eden Prairie. He's wondering,
Okay.
is Bigfoot actually a ghost?
Well, he's got to be because no one's ever seen him.
Or he's an alien?
Think he could ride a hog? That's the only reason I'd care about Bigfoot.
I think
If I
without
saw Bigfoot, I'd kick my old lady off the back and I'd let the Bigfoot hop on and we'd go cruising and then I'd go do some judging.
do some judging,
Yeah.
well, you know, every now and then I get in the mood to do some judging. Usually it's at the state fair.
You want to be a judge with me? Be judge cop.
I prosecute them, or I bust them. You prosecute them.
And I punish them.
This would be a great show.
Yeah.
I'll be the cop.
3 roommates.
You can be my
One's a cop,
offbeat sidekick who
one's a
solves
judge
all
that
the
wears a
action.
motorcycle
It'd be like
helmet,
the
and
girl,
the
the
other
girl
is a
on
karate
NCIS.
expert.
The one that does all the. Yeah, she's like all, and you can be my, or I can
Corrupt
be
judge.
your.
I don't mind Tip being a sidekick.
No, I could be your sidekick because you're the judge.
You've heard of the show Bad Judge? I'm even worse judge.
We could call you Jesus Judge
Good.
because you judge all.
Do you hitchhike beneath underpasses
You know what I do? I
What?
go under underpasses
and get on your motorcycle?
and then I put on snowshoes so that I don't leave tracks.
All right. Halloween events. Any Halloween events, traditions you guys have?
There's this thing called trick-or-treating.
Oh, tell me about that. What do you do?
Oh.
Trick or treat?
Trick-or-treat, smell my feet.
Anybody ever
I
ask?
actually make them smell my feet.
Do you?
Yeah. Nose down, feet up.
Some guys might give you more candy for that.
Okay, why don't we get this out
Pull
here?
off the
Why don't we get
socks.
this out here right now? It is not funny or appropriate to wear an Adrian Peterson jersey and walk around with a stick, okay? Let's just put that out there to Minnesota right now. That is inappropriate.
But I think that's going
This
to
is
be a
the
big.
not
tips
funny.
for those new
Don't
to
do it.
Minnesota.
That's going to be a big costume this year.
Yeah, and the people who do that are complete savages who deserve to be put in cells.
Now, if you can imagine me wearing like all wood camouflage, I could be the switch that he got beat.
Okay, that's also inappropriate. However, it's actually one step above what they're doing. There's actually some cleverness to that.
I would be a
one.
branch.
You would be a branch.
I'd be the trunk.
You know what?
Man. That's
Sustained.
Let's cut that part out.
Yeah.
Done. Let's face it, nobody watches this damn thing anyway. Halloween events other than that. Anything? Other than dressing up like Adrian Peters?
I'm just saying, don't do it. I just want to make sure it's out there not to do that. That's
Okay.
not
Has
cool.
anyone ever been pistol whipped? This isn't.
Not yet, but the night is
Are you
young.
offering?
Adum, adum.
He's got
This
a
would
helmet.
hurt. This is not rubber.
It is.
Let me see this thing.
That's an actual prop gun. That was used in the film Gray State. It was produced, filmed, made entirely in Minnesota. So,
You get that at the thrift shop?
no, I bought it at actually a prop liquidation sale or something. It's also where I got this kick,
You're
is-
about to get
but
moto.
sheriff's costume,
It also can be security guard.
which can also be, yes, they're Velcro, so you can change whatever you are. Because I have identity crises
Sometimes
daily.
you want to be the state trooper.
Sometimes you just want to be security guard.
I get it.
So, like, all of a sudden, you know, like now we could be a security guard in a jewelry store. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it.
Okay. So, any other Halloween events you like to shoot people on Halloween?
No, I like to hug people on Halloween.
I like to watch cops on Halloween.
I like to watch
I like
judges.
to watch old kung fu movies.
I watch all the
Don't you?
judge shows on Halloween and see what
I'll-
Judge Judy's dressed up as.
I watch the Kung Fu Marathon. You know what the thing is? All day I never see some samurai on there.
Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan, and let's not forget Charlie Chan.
Charlie.
Charlie Chan, and welcome to Charlie Chan Theater. So speaking of Charlie Chan, you know, when I was a little boy and watched Charlie Chan, it was always really cold outside, like freezing cold. Do you know what else freezes?
Ice.
Blood.
Water.
Hippies that are hitchhiking and they freeze under underpasses so they don't leave any footprints anymore.
Close. If you were super excited and went, OMG, what was in your pants would be soil and it would freeze. So
Tundra.
Speaking of,
I'm not following you.
okay,
Tundra.
Well,
Let's go on to the next subject.
Let's go to W and see what he has to say.
Thank you, Bamba. I'm talking to you from the Soil Frozen Center up in Alaska, where I'm going to tell you about the scariest soil I can imagine. It is called permafrost. Technically, if you're a soil taxonomy person, that would be a gelisol, but permafrost is always frozen. The top 3 feet or so of soil will thaw out, but underneath that, it's ice. So if you're building a home on permafrost, you got to be careful, because once you get that house built on the ice is going to melt, then your house is going to sink. So, scary disappearing houses can be built on permafrost. Back to you.
Wow. I know I'm frightened. I'm
I know.
frightened by that permafrost.
The premise of the show was built
Houses
on
can sink?
permafrost.
Yes, exactly. Houses can sink. Do you know why?
Sinkholes.
Well, there's that.
Yeah.
And then, it's much like the ship that we're on. It keeps sinking.
Yeah. Sustained.
So, permafrost, houses sinking. That brings up our next subject of tips for those new to Minnesota winters. My recommendation is just move the hell out of here.
Leave.
Why would you come here?
It wasn't
Not
worth
enough good
If you
months to be
weren't born and
motorcycling.
raised in this state and didn't grow up with these winters, why the hell would you come here?
Why the hell would you stay?
I don't know, but I'm cold just thinking about it.
I know. And we still got
We got a while.
November, December, January, February, March.
Probably into April.
That's a lot.
I know.
Other tips. Always, you think the roads are fine, but that first snow, people nobody knows how to drive. They don't remember how to drive anymore. So just
I know, and I'm on my motorcycle
I don't know, you just got to deal with it.
year round, like just doling out justice left and right, and the roads are slippery, and people,
I was
you know how
often
hard it
wondered,
is to get to
does
your
it
next,
get harder?
your next judging
Does it
engagement?
get harder to drive a motorcycle in the winter?
It gets harder.
Do you buy like the Surly bike with the fat tires?
No,
It's the new
I got a
Belgian.
regular old motorcycle.
That's a delicious beer.
The fat tire.
Oh. Well played.
Thanks, dude. So the only reason I dyed my hair this color was so I wouldn't blend in with the snow.
So like when you were walking home from your kegger frat parties and passed out in the snowbank, people would find you. They'd say, oh my gosh, look, it's Cyndi Lauper.
She's so unusual.
Is that Cyndi Lauper? What is she even say?
She does sing
Good
it.
love for you is good enough. No, but that's nothing compared to bop, or no. She bop, he bop, a we bop, I bop, you bop, and they bop. She bop, he,
We
okay.
bop and we bop.
Sorry, we're getting
We're breaking the
sound
volume
guy's
barrier.
absolutely falling asleep here, and the other guy's telling us that we're number one.
Yeah.
And this time it was
My
with the right
nose
finger.
itches.
So,
It's so hot in this thing.
those new to Minnesota winners, just move back to wherever you came from. That's all I'm
Yeah,
going to say.
get out. We don't want you. You stink.
Close-
That's what we say. You stink.
Closing thoughts
Go
for
away.
this Halloween episode, Judge.
What? What did you just say?
Closing thoughts for this Halloween episode, Judge.
I'd say, if you think you might be a ghost, then you are one.
Is that right?
Always pick up a Jesus-looking like hitchhiker.
And always check the pond behind your mobile home because you'll never know what's
You never
lurking
know.
in the darkness. Thanks for joining us for our Halloween episode. Take 2.
It's a wrap.
Word.
Gmail. The G unit
Gmail.
mail.
Gmale.